What's good, guys? We're back again with part 4 of the After Effects tutorial series. In this installment, we are going to be animating our asteroid with a compound animation sequence. We're going to be using the position, rotation, and scale. So let's go ahead and move up to the point where we had our asteroid start. And so just like before, when we grab those time blocks, we're going to grab the time blocks for all these little fragments, because those can't appear until the asteroid hits the ground. And we need to actually give time for that asteroid to fly from the corner into the ground. So let's say 2 seconds, or maybe 4. Let's give it 4 seconds. And so now in that 4-second period from 10 to 14 on our timeline is going to be the time that the asteroid flies in. And then at that point, the fragments will appear. So let's go ahead and drop down the transformation menu for the asteroid. And the first thing we're going to do is start with the position transformation. So we've got our asteroid right off screen. And let's hit that keyframe and get it started. Then we're going to jump right to the end. That's the point of impact, and that's where those fragments are going to get knocked out of the ground. So let's go ahead and put it right by his feet. And so now we've got that keyframe. And it impacts right by his feet. So let's go ahead and start grabbing these handles. Again, if a handle doesn't appear, we just press G on our keyboard and then bring up the pen tool and allow us to pull that, and then we just press V when we want to go back to our normal selection tool. Let's go ahead and shape this so that it's kind of more like a trajectory of a falling object. A nice curve and impact. So that looks good. But something that's weird about it is that it's not following that curve. It's staying in one line or one plane of alignment. We want it to dynamically follow that curve so that the tail of flames actually trails behind the asteroid mass. So the way we're going to do that is actually pay attention to the corners of that bounding box. You know, if we line those top left and bottom right corners on the arc, then it will be following that path. So we go to the beginning and set that up, and now I'm going to drag it over to the end and then line it up again with that rotation. That looks that's good. So now let's go ahead and look at it again. Now that tail is trailing behind. Okay. So one last thing we want to do is deal with the scale of it, right? Because in our original video, the asteroid looks to be coming from a distance, which means it should start off small. So let's go ahead and start a scale transformation. We're just going to make it really small. Go ahead and drop it to 1% if you need to. And then let's move it to the point of impact, at which point it would be back to 100%. So we'll bump that up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever looks right is right. And so now we have a scale change, rotation along that path. So not too bad. Let's check it one more time. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and save like always, and I will catch y'all on the next round.